Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend ahead, including, of course, the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for the kids about the week in news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy. You ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. The country paused at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November this week to remember Australians who had gone to war. What do we call this day? That's right, it's called Remembrance Day, or I'll also accept Armistice Day. Question number 2. What is the small red flower that people wear on Remembrance Day as a mark of respect? Well done if you said poppy. Question number 3. In the podcast this week, we heard about the church bells of Notre Dame being delivered to be reinstalled in the famous cathedral. In which city of France is this famous cathedral located? Yes, of course, it's located in Paris. Where else? Question number 4. Lovers of Australian rugby had a reason to celebrate last weekend when the men's national team came from behind to beat England. Woohoo! What is the marsupial-inspired name of the Aussie men's rugby team? That's right, we call them the Wallabies. Question number 5. Brisbane was buzzing this week with the opening of a new children's tourist attraction dedicated to which ridiculously popular kids' cartoon character. And I'll give you a hint. It's being described as wackadoo. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about Bluey and the opening of Bluey's World. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? And do you think that's going to be enough to beat the adults? I'm hoping so. All right, adults, now it's your turn. Let's fire up the old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. Let's test your Remembrance Day knowledge. The poppy that is worn on Remembrance Day is symbolic of the flowers that grew after the fighting had stopped on which famous front of the First World War? Yes, that's right, it was the Western Front. Question number 2. Which tech bro, serial entrepreneur, electric vehicle company founder, and occasional space explorer did Donald Trump name this week to a new government efficiency agency? Yes, that's right, it was Elon Musk. Question number 3. Australia's ambassador to the United States was under a cloud this week after deleting derogatory comments he'd made about Trump from his Twitter feed. Who am I talking about? Well done if you said Kevin Rudd. Question number 4. The Climate Change Conference, COP29, kicked off this week in which Central Asian country? That's right, it was Azerbaijan. Question number 5. Name the regional Aussie airline that was thrown a lifeline by the Australian government this week. Yes, of course, it was Rex. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who has won bragging rights this week? Now, if you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. That's the end of the quiz, which means it's now time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, November 15. Crack out your car keys because it's National Steve Irwin Day. Crikey! Celebrating the life of one of Australia's most remarkable wildlife warriors. You know Bindi and Robert Irwin? We're talking about their dad. Today is also a special day for these Squiz Kids, celebrating a birthday today and over the coming weekend. And because it's a Friday, let's crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday to Georgina from Tempe, Willow from South Brisbane, Liam from Youngtown, Caleb from Millfield, Tyler from Wishart, Jaden and Caleb D from Woolloongabba, Kobe from Ashmont, Path from The Ponds, Ivy from Pacific Pines, Jessica from Forest Lake, Hannah from Victor Harbour, Zach from Sandringham, Alex from Heatherton, Oscar from Heidelberg West, Connor from Paddington, and Kai from Brightwater. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget, there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as our other excellent content is free too. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids Shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's the Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to the Daily Pod on Mondays, and whose entire back catalogue is now searchable via our website. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this audio content will magically appear. For now, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.